Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z VEGETA older style battle clothes version, which was a PB release, and I thought it looked like butts in the photos. The shoulders are like way too far out in most of the photos, if not all of them, but I'm happy to say in hand it actually looks a whole lot better. You can make it look like the photos, but you don't have to, and I am very pleasantly surprised by the way this guy looks. And it's not just a straight up repaint like most of the Vegetas have been. There's actually, I don't want to say a lot, but there's a good amount of stuff going on here that's really nice. So let's go ahead and get this guy off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, let's look at the package. I think it's a nice package. They still go with the the background that matches the figure more or less. This guy looks alright because of the white. I think they need more contrast personally, but it's still a nice packaging. Photo there, figure here, still hidden partly, accessories on the side, still not bad. PB release, made in Vietnam. Mine did have some schmutz on it, kind of like King Cold did, but I was able to clean it off, so I don't know if that's a Vietnam factory thing, but it seems to be happening. Was he Vietnam? I don't know. The back on the Dragon Ball figure still has very tiny photos. It's weird how all the other Bandai figures have bigger photos on the back, but the Dragon Ball ones are small. Still standard Dragon Ball packaging. Nothing remarkable to talk about, really. Alright, this guy, he is available at Big Bad Toy Store if you want to get one. He was a PB release, so he costs a little bit more because they have to buy them like everyone else, but if you missed the boat, it is an option, and I'll put a link in the description below. He's 16 centimeters to the top of his hair. Let's see where it is to the top of where his head would be, roughly. Maybe 13 centimeters, roughly. His head's a weird shape. So we're going to say 5 and an eighth to the head, and then 6 and 3/8 to the top of the hair. Still not a small Vegeta, but not bad looking, I have to say. Let's do a question of the day. Which look for Vegeta is your favorite? For me, that's a tough one. I almost want to go with like the classic full set of armor with the skirt and everything, but I am partial to this. I know a lot of people are going to say the Majin look. It's a good look. I'm going to go with this. I like this. The unarmored, like the no pads look for this armor. I like it. Alright, so this guy. His shoulders are very unique. We'll talk about that when we get to the articulation section, but you can suck them right in, and I don't think that looks too bad at all. I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks really good, in fact, and I'm very happy about it because the photos all had the arms out, like way far, and he looked gangly as hell and goofy, and that just looks cheap and weird. But you can suck them right in there, and they actually fill the armor holes very nicely, so I think that looks really, really good. Now the legs, I'm not 100% sure if they're reused, but they function better, so they might be reused. I think they are, but they do function better at least. Now, let's talk about the aesthetic. That's what we're here for. The shoulders look good. The overall silhouette is nice. I have to say, this is one of the better looking Vegetas, if not the best, I think. It's very good looking. The head sculpt, very, very nice. They've been getting better and better with the faces, and this is the newer type of head sculpt where it looks reasonable. A lot of the older ones, the forehead went straight up, which made no sense. These ones do lean back a lot farther, which is how Vegeta should look. It's still a little bit weird, but he's got a weird head. But yeah, it's very, very nice. The only thing that really stands out to me as being a problem for the sculpt is the hair has hard lines in it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the... Yeah, you can see right at that peak right there, there's a hard crease, which doesn't need to be there, and it does kind of go, well, not all the way around, but it goes around. You can see the points. So it's a little bit weird looking. Some of the hair spots have harder creases than I would have expected, which is, I don't know, I guess you might like it, you might not, but that's a thing. And then he has no paint on him. There's no shading at all, so it does look model kit-ish. It's really unfortunate. They did paint the neck on here, or the chest to match the neck, and that just isn't the same color. It's not terrible, but it's weird and not great. So yeah, there's room for improvement with the paint, and he does look semi-plasticky, but it's not too bad. I'm gonna say, because he's lacking paint and looks semi-plasticky, only 8 out of 10, but if he had a little bit of a touch-up, this guy could be a 9. He's got a really nice look to him. The way that upper body sits, I like it. Okay, so let's talk about the accessories. For faces, we get a bunch, and they all look really good. There's a lot of really nice details. I don't know that there's any more that you would really need. I think they're some of the better Vegeta faces that we've gotten. We have the folded arms accessory. I'll put a note if there's any problem with that, but I think they're going to work just fine. They mostly have been for Bandai for a while. We get a good spread of hands, nothing elaborate, nothing crazy, and then we get the interchangeable chest pieces for the damage, which... it looks fine. Like, it's not bad. I don't know if I'm going to ever use it. I'm sure some people who do photos will, but I don't really have a need for those, but they are pretty well done. So I can't really complain about that. But that's it for accessories, and this guy is a PB release, so he is a little bit more expensive than he otherwise would be. Obviously, Big Bad Toy Store pricing is higher because they have to buy them at retail, but whatever his pricing was, probably like 60 or 70 if I had to guess. It's okay for a PB release. It's not the worst thing they've done. It's not the best. For accessories, I will give him an 8. It's enough. It's fine. But I think more. We still need blast effects. Okay, so here we go for articulation. The head, unfortunately, they're using ball hinges again. Like, stop it. They keep switching to ball pegs, and it's like so great when they do, and then they go back to ball hinges, and it's so not great. But the neck is on a ball peg. It's not the best because, as usual, like they always do, it sits too high and makes really big gaps and doesn't lean well enough. So it's a pretty crappy neck. And then the head to neck connection is a ball hinge, which is really frustrating to use because you have to do the ball hinge shimmy to get the head to go where you want. You'll be able to do it, but ball pegs make it so much easier and so much more natural. But it'll do. Now for the shoulders, you can pop them out because of the way they're connected, so you can do that. I'm going to show you the insides in a second. You get the ball peg that lets the whole thing move around. You get the ball hinge on the shoulder that lets it raise up. That's all fine. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow is fine. And then wrists are on little ball hinges, so that's okay. As far as the butterfly joint goes, yeah, it doesn't really work. It's a problem. Damn, that's really annoying. It's a problem. If you're trying to use the butterfly, it doesn't butterfly properly. But let me show you a thing that I don't know if they've ever done this before. I don't think they have, but I haven't gone through and checked all of them. What is going on here? They did drop down shoulders, but it's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. It allows for him to pull out this way to make the shoulders come all the way out, like I showed you in their bad photos. Oh man, this is upside down now. It's kind of a nuisance. I'm gonna have to fix that part. It's so annoying. So they did the drop down thing to allow the shoulders to pull out farther, and now that one's stuck because the cap, that blue cap, this piece right in here, is stuck in there now. So now I can't use the pull out or get the piece to go where it belongs. But this drop down thing allows the shoulder to pull out farther because it's just a ball peg, and I don't know that I like that. The shoulder can pull out farther, but it doesn't have any freaking range, so what's the point? Like, you can't bring it anywhere, it's just sticking out there, so like, you get more wiggle here, but it doesn't help anything really, and it gets gappy as hell and weird, and it makes him look like he has those gorilla arms from the promo shots. So this is over-engineered like crazy. If anything, do this horizontally so that instead of being a drop down, it drops back or forward so that you actually can bring the butterfly out forward. So this is a joint that it does technically function the way they intended, but I don't know why you would really want that. Oh god, no, no, it pops off way too easily. That's a problem. So this piece right here, that's why those pop off easily. That's really annoying. That's so annoying. Yeah, I don't like this shoulder setup. It doesn't really work. I mean, it technically works, but doesn't offer much. So that's frustrating as hell. Alright, so then obviously you get your ball peg for the diaphragm joint, and that can lean forward and back a little bit only because that big goofy joint is in there, so very limited range on that, limited rotation. And then down here you have technically, I'll show you this one too. Well, I guess I can't show you as well as I wanted. Well, either way, you get a ball peg there, so that one works. Alright, hold on a second. Okay, we're just going to take this whole guy apart because I wanted to show you something. I think I forgot it in here. Yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. Okay, so that's just a ball peg down there. It doesn't really do much. It's just a waist twist, really. But this one, it's like over-engineering Bandai. It can't stop over-engineering. It's a socket and a ball, but this is on a hinge. But the hinge has basically no range. And you saw it, it doesn't function. So we have a ball and a hinge, and it still can't do almost anything. They keep making joints overly complex and non-functioning. It's very, very strange. So, don't love that. He doesn't pose well in the torso. Let's see how the legs work. Vegetas have had a problem with legs. Okay, 45 degrees roughly. That's not really good enough. And then going forward, at least we can bring them forward this time. So that's good. Bringing them back, you get enough. so that's okay. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knee is fine. You get good range out of that. And then the ankles, they're still doing the crappy offset double ball peg, which allows you to do nothing forward really at all, and you can bring the feet all the way down like that. I would like to be able to bring them forward too, because the toe hinge is hot garbage. It's really, really bad. That part tucks in just that much. That's the absolute maximum amount of range, and it's basically floppy. There's no real retention on it. Terrible. And then the ankle rocker is quite minimal also. So bad ankles, bad torso, limited hips. It doesn't pose very well. The shoulders are way overdone and don't really serve a purpose. The neck is still a ball hinge. This guy's getting a 6 out of 10 for articulation. It's gonna be okay. Like, you'll be able to put it in some basic poses, but they really didn't do themselves any favors with this set of articulation. Pretty disappointing, in fact. So now it's time for the final verdict. I liked it more than I thought I was going to at first. The articulation kind of blows. The accessories are reasonable. You know what? For a premium Bandai release, which does cost more, people like to argue they're not meant to be premium figures. Yeah, I get it, but they do cost more, even if you're not buying them at Big Bad rather than PB. They still cost more. So a generous 7 out of 10. The articulation blows in a lot of ways, and he's still lacking paint almost everywhere, and the rest is pretty good though. So let me know what you guys think. I still like it way more than I thought I would. I'm happy to own it, but it's definitely not an impressive figure in most ways. But yeah, like I said, let me know what you guys think, but that's it for me. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.